I met him there in a border town. He vowed we'd never love, love is strange.
Whose silhouettes on the shade, I couldn't hide the tears in. He rocks in the treetop all the day long, popping and a singing his song.
90% of these classic hits would flop instantly if they were released today. Yeah, I said it, because the truth is, some of these songs aren't remembered for being great, they're remembered because you were there. The dances, the first love, the radio. But strip all that away.
After you've had it, you're in an awful fix.
Every little swallow, every chickadee, every little bird in the tall tree. Put his arms around your waist, held you tight.
What's actually left? In this video, we're going back to the 1950s, not just to celebrate these songs, but to judge them. Which ones are truly timeless, and which ones only survive because of nostalgia? Let's see who actually holds up.
Earth angel, will you be my
Number 1. Earth Angel, The Penguins.
love you forever and evermore?
If Earth Angel dropped today, would anyone honestly call it timeless or skip it after 10 seconds? Back in the 50s, it owned slow dances, first love, and teenage dreams. It felt magical. But strip away nostalgia and what remains? A simple melody, repetitive lyrics, and production that wouldn't survive modern playlists. Yet people still defend it like sacred ground. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Are we praising the song or protecting memories tied to it?
Please be mine, my darling dear.
Because those are not the same thing. Influence doesn't automatically equal quality. If a new artist released this exact track today, would it chart or disappear overnight without a trace? Be honest with yourself. Do you actually love the song or just the era it represents? Because if nostalgia vanished tomorrow, so might this so-called classic.
Life could be a dream. Shaboom, if I could take you up in paradise up above.
Number 2. Shaboom, The Chords.
Shaboom and off and beat again, boom. Ding dong, ding ding dong, whoa.
Shaboom is catchy, sure, but let's not pretend it's some deep musical masterpiece. It's playful, repetitive, and honestly borderline gimmicky. Back then, that charm worked perfectly. Today, it might sound more like a novelty than a serious hit. Yet people defend it like it's untouchable. Why? Because it reminds them of youth, or because they've heard it so often they assume it's great. That's not the same as quality. Influence doesn't guarantee longevity. Yes, it helped shape doo-wop, but does that make it good by today's standards? Strip away nostalgia and listen again. Does it still hold up, or does it fall flat fast? Because if this dropped on streaming platforms now, it might trend for a week, then vanish completely. So what are we really celebrating here? The music itself, or just the memory attached to it? Number 3. The Flying Saucer, Buchanan and Goodman. The Flying Saucer was clever for its time. Built on early sampling, chaos, and humor, it stood out. But today, it might barely pass as music. It feels messy, fragmented, and closer to a comedy sketch than a real song. Yes, it was ahead of its era, but being first doesn't mean being great. In a world where sampling is now a refined art form, this sounds more like a rough draft than a masterpiece. yet people still call it groundbreaking. Maybe it is, or maybe we're just giving it credit for showing up early. If this dropped today, would anyone replay it seriously, or just laugh once and move on? That's the real test. So what is it really? A pioneer deserving respect, or an outdated experiment people are afraid to criticize?
A one-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people, it sure looks strange to me.
Number 4. Little Darlin, The Diamonds.
Well, bless my soul, riding old flying purple people, little pigeon-toed, underclothed, flying purple.
Little Darlin is dramatic, exaggerated, and unforgettable, but also kind of ridiculous. The over-the-top vocals and theatrical delivery made it stand out back then, but today, that same performance might get turned into a meme within hours. It's entertaining, no doubt, but is it actually good or just weird enough to be remembered? Sometimes we confuse uniqueness with quality, and this song sits right on that line.
Well, bless my soul, rockin' roll, flying purple.
People praise it like it's iconic, but would they seriously stream it daily now? Probably not. If this dropped in today's music scene, would it be respected or mocked endlessly online? That's the uncomfortable question, because nostalgia can turn anything into a classic. So be honest, do you admire this song, or just enjoy how strange it sounds compared to modern music?
Number 5. The Book of Love, The Monotones.
The Book of Love gets called iconic, but let's be real. Is it actually that good? Or just unforgettable because it's so simple? Those boom, boom, boom lines. Catchy, yes. Deep? Not even close. Back in the 50s, that innocence felt fresh, even charming. Today, it might sound almost childish next to modern songwriting, yet people still defend it like it's untouchable. Why? Because it reminds them of a moment, or because it truly holds up? That's the question nobody wants to answer. Simplicity can be powerful, but it can also be lazy. So if this dropped today, would it be praised as minimalist brilliance or dismissed as repetitive fluff? Be honest, are we celebrating a great song or just a great memory wrapped in 3 chords and nostalgia?
Love, love is strange.
Number 6. At the Hop, Danny and the Juniors.
After you've had it, you're in an awful fix.
At the Hop screams energy, youth, and dance culture. It captured a moment perfectly, but musically, it's pretty basic. Simple structure, predictable rhythm, nothing groundbreaking. It worked because of timing, not complexity. And timing doesn't age well. If released today, would it feel exciting or outdated within days?
Don't understand. No, they think love.
That's the uncomfortable truth many don't want to admit. We often confuse cultural impact with musical quality. This song had massive impact, but does it still have real value now? Strip away the 50s context and listen fresh. Does it still stand strong or collapse instantly? Because if a new artist dropped this today, it might not even trend. So are we celebrating the music itself or just the era it defined?
He rocks in the treetop all the day long, popping and a bopping and a singing his song.
Number 7. Rockin Robin, Bobby Day.
A pretty little raven that the birdman sang, talking like a super pumping into one brand.
Rockin Robin is all bright energy and instant charm. But once you look past the chirping hook, there isn't much left to unpack. It's catchy in the most obvious way, built to stick in your head after one listen. That worked beautifully in its era, when novelty and innocence could carry a hit. But today, The song can feel more like a playful gimmick than a fully developed pop record.
The pretty little raven at the breadman stand taught him how to do the pop and it was grand.
The melody is pleasant, the rhythm is light, and the whole thing moves with a cheerful bounce. Yet it never really deepens. That raises the question, is its simplicity part of the magic, or is it simply too thin to hold up outside nostalgia? For some listeners, it's a classic. For others, it's a one-trick bird. Its charm is immediate, but its replay value depends entirely on memory.
Number 8. Get a Job, The Silhouettes.
After breakfast every day, you know the one is ran away. I never will to say.
Get a Job is remembered for its attitude and its playful doo-wop bounce, but the song itself is thinner than its reputation suggests. The famous sha-na-na style backing gives it personality, yet much of the track relies on repetition and a simple joke about unemployment. That made it feel fresh and funny in the 1950s, when pop could lean on humor without needing much complexity.
And my girl never fails to say, if there is any work.
Today, though, the novelty wears off quickly. The melody is pleasant enough, and the group harmonies have a certain charm, but there is not much progression or emotional depth to hold attention for long. It is the kind of song people quote more than they revisit. So, is it a clever slice of its time, or just a catchy idea stretched into a full record? Its legacy may be bigger than its substance. Number 9. Little Star, The Elegance. Little Star has a delicate, dreamy quality that made it easy to love, but it also feels too gentle to leave a lasting mark. The harmonies are soft, the melody is sweet, and the whole performance drifts by like a pleasant memory rather than a statement. That restraint can be beautiful, especially in an era when simplicity and innocence were part of the appeal. But the same softness can also make the song fade into the background. There is no dramatic peak, no sharp contrast, and no moment that demands attention. It is lovely in passing, yet not memorable once it ends. So is that elegance a strength, or does it leave the song feeling underdeveloped? For listeners who enjoy atmosphere over impact, it still works. For everyone else, it may feel like a whisper that never becomes a voice.
Way down tight, from within the dim light cast.
Number 10. Silhouettes, The Rays.
I couldn't hide the tears in my eyes.
Silhouettes stands out because it tells a clear drama, and that narrative angle gives it more personality than many songs of its era. You can follow the story immediately, which makes it memorable even before you think about the music itself. But musically, it stays fairly restrained. The arrangement is tidy, the energy is controlled, and the tension comes more from the lyrics than from the sound.
On my feet, loved you like I never loved.
That can be effective, especially when the storytelling is strong enough to carry the record. Still, in a modern listening environment, the song might feel a bit too polite. It does not explode, surprise, or build to a huge payoff. So is its charm in the storytelling, or does it need more sonic punch to truly land today? It remains a clever piece of pop craft, but one that depends heavily on context.
Happy, happy birthday, baby.
Number 11. Happy Birthday Baby, The Tune Weavers.
Thought I'd drop a line to say that I wish this.
Happy Birthday Baby is built almost entirely on feeling, and that gives it an immediate emotional pull. The performance sounds raw and vulnerable, as if the singer is reaching straight for the listener without much polish in between. That sincerity was a major strength in its time, when a simple emotional statement could carry a record very far. But the song also stays in one emotional lane for most of its run.
No, I can't call you my baby.
Once the mood is established, there is not much development, contrast, or surprise. That can make it powerful in the moment, but less rewarding over repeated listens. So is it genuinely heartfelt, or does it rely too much on one feeling to sustain itself? For listeners who value directness, it still has impact. For others, it may feel like a beautiful idea that never fully expands in practice.
She was only 16, only 16.
Number 12, Only 16, Craig Douglas.
We'd laugh and we'd sing and do the little things.
Only 16 has the polished sweetness of a classic pop ballad, but its lyrical premise makes it harder to hear with modern ears. The tune is smooth and memorable, and Craig Douglas delivers it with enough charm to keep it light on the surface. Yet, the story itself reflects a viewpoint that feels dated, even uncomfortable today. That creates an interesting tension.
It was only 16, only 16.
The song is musically pleasant, but conceptually it can raise questions that were not as visible when it first became a hit. This is one of those records where age changes the meaning as much as the sound. So, does it still work as a pop song? Or does its theme lock it into a very specific era? For some listeners, the melody is enough. For others, the outdated framing makes it difficult to enjoy fully without hesitation. Number 13, Petite Fleur, Chris Barber's jazz band. Petite Fleur is one of those songs that wins you over through atmosphere rather than force. Its beauty is undeniable. The melody is graceful, the playing is refined, and the whole piece feels carefully shaped. But that same elegance also makes it feel very specialized. It is not trying to grab attention or build toward a big climax. Instead, it settles into a mood and stays there. For jazz fans, that can be enough, because the subtlety is part of the appeal. For casual listeners, though, the song may feel slow or even sleepy, especially in a world built around quick hooks and immediate payoff. So, is it a timeless mood piece, or simply too niche to travel far outside its lane? It remains lovely, but its audience is likely to be smaller than its reputation suggests for many listeners.
The wayward wind is a restless wind.
Number 14, The Wayward Wind, Gogi Grant.
In a lonely shack by a railroad track, he spent his young.
The Wayward Wind has scale and drama, and Gogi Grant's vocal gives it a sense of seriousness that is hard to ignore. The song feels expansive, almost cinematic, but it does not rush to its point. Instead, it unfolds slowly, letting the mood build piece by piece. That kind of patience can be rewarding, especially when the storytelling and vocal delivery are strong enough to justify it.
Oh, I met him there in a border town. He vowed with.
But in a modern listening culture, where songs often need to hook instantly, that same slowness can be a liability. The track does not hit with a quick burst of energy. It lingers. So is that a sign of depth and craftsmanship, or simply a pace that feels too old-fashioned now? It remains impressive in its own way, but it asks the listener to meet it halfway. For listeners willing to slow down. Number 15, Since I Don't Have You, The Skyliners. If Since I Don't Have You were released today, it might surprise people. Not with innovation, but with its raw emotional weight. Unlike many novelty-driven hits of the era, this song leans fully into vulnerability, with soaring vocals and a dramatic arrangement that still resonates. It's undeniably sentimental, even borderline melodramatic by modern standards. But that intensity is exactly what gives it staying power. Strip away nostalgia, and what remains is a genuinely powerful ballad about loss and longing. The real question isn't whether it sounds dated, it does, but whether emotion like this ever truly goes out of style. And in this case, it just might not.
Way down tight from within the dim light cast.
No, I can't call you my baby. The wayward wind is a restless wind.
So here's the uncomfortable truth. Not every classic is actually a classic. Some songs survived because they're great. Others survived because you did. Yeah, let that sink in. Nostalgia doesn't just preserve music, it protects it from criticism. So the real question isn't, was it a hit? It's, does it still deserve to be? Now I want honesty, no filters. Which song still hits hard? And which one only lives in your memory? Drop it in the comments. I read everything. And don't play it safe. If this video challenged your taste even a little, hit like, subscribe, and come back for more. Because here, we don't just revisit the past. We test if it can survive today.